Welcome to a PreventConnect podcast, where we explore the prevention of violence against women. This is a project of the California Coalition Against Sexual Assault.
Hello everyone, this is Meghna Bhatt from PreventConnect.
And I'm Ashley Klein-Jimenez from PreventConnect. And today we're really excited to be joined by LeMay and Elsabel Rincon from the Center for Hope and Healing over in Massachusetts. And so Caitlin is the project coordinator for engaging men and boys as allies in sexual violence prevention. And Elsabel, you are the community impact manager at Center for Hope and Healing. And we're just so excited to have you both here to give us a little preview about the prevention track workshop that you will be presenting at the National Sexual Assault Conference in Dallas coming up in just a couple short months in June. So thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sure, welcome. How are you both doing?
We're doing great.
Yes.
Coffee.
You got coffee? Yeah, that's important. So I understand that you'll be presenting a workshop titled Barbershop Safety Network, Buzz for Safety, Engaging Barbers in Preventing Sexual Violence. And so just to start off, can you give us just a little preview about what people can expect if they decide to come to your workshop?
Sure. We'll be talking about some of the strategies we've used, really bringing in a grassroots initiatives into the community and building on the community's capacity to help us with this work. Obviously, we can't do it in silos, and there's so much expertise and techniques and tools out in the community. So doing that strength-based approach is really building a community capacity to respond to sexual violence and prevent sexual violence in our community. So we'll be bringing on some lessons learned, some mistakes, and what is working and making this campaign successful.
Awesome. That sounds great. And that's such an important piece of doing prevention work is involving the community that you're hoping to impact. Right? And so I think anytime that we can have those conversations and hear about the process that you've done to be able to include that is really useful and important to other prevention practitioners.
Absolutely. And especially if you want to make long-lasting impact that continues beyond staffing and programs. So that is our goal, our main goal.
That's wonderful. So the question is why barbers? What role do barbershops play a role, especially in the community you're working with in terms of prevention?
So one thing that we noticed and realized is that a lot of barbers in our community are already doing similar work. They're already out there. They're reaching out to their community. They're doing a lot of great prevention stuff for issues, similar to sexual assault or domestic violence, and also substance use prevention, all sorts of kind of public health issues. The barbers are already involved. And we also did a needs assessment for our community in Lowell, Massachusetts, that showed that there's not a lot of services out there for young men of color, ages 18 to 24. So Elsabel and a local professor at the University of Massachusetts in Lowell got together and kind of problem solved on how to reach out to this community. We are a rape crisis center, and we know that community is not going to walk into our doors, most likely. So we wanted to go to them. So that's when the idea of barbershops came up, knowing that they already are doing a lot of this grassroots community organizing work. And they're a great social networking and support system for young men of color. So putting those two together, that's how we came up with the idea for Barbers.
That's exciting. So your workshop, I think, will be focusing on kind of two things, as you mentioned, young, men of color, kind of engaging in these discussions with them, and also you're kind of focusing on, key stakeholders, kind of in the service industry, those who kind of interact with them on the day-to-day basis. So what do you hope the attendees take away from your workshop session?
We hope they take away the values of incorporating community organizing principles and strategies into the prevention work, into really building, like I mentioned before, the strengths of the community, building on those strengths and maximizing those strengths in the community so that more people are doing this work. And really looking into their communities and tapping into what's already there. right? A big part of our work was really getting to know our communities, our stakeholders, and what was already being done, in addition to identifying where the need was in order to match those needs with those present resources, maximizing our own resources, our capacity, and the impact. So we hope that they'd be able to take away from the bigger process we went through and hopefully replicate it in other places.
Great. I think, if I were, and I hope to be able to attend your workshop, but one thing that I hope I would be thinking as you're sharing your successes and challenges and how you went about incorporating community organizing into your prevention work is really, how do we go about identifying the champions of prevention in our own communities? Because, often the people who are doing some of the best prevention work are not kind of the usual suspects, if you will, but it's folks that we might have not previously engaged with in our organizations. So I think that's such a great piece that you're bringing to this.
Absolutely. And if you want to bring that to another layer too, traditionally in our work, we don't interact with the other side or batterers or abusers or assailants, right? So where at the point of dealing with this issue do we start having those conversations and those interactions, right? And statistically, men perpetrate a lot more than women. So if you're working in engaging men and boys, you need to be prepared that at some point along this work, you're going to start engaging with perpetrators. And at what point do we marry accountability with second chances and opportunities, or re-education, reintegration into the community? So this goes really deep into those conversations and interactions.
I just feel like this is, and the theme of NSAC, right, is about these critical conversations and these really bold actions that we can take as a movement to think about how we've done the work traditionally and where we need to go in the future to actually impact change.
Right.
And the conversation that we have a lot here is, like I mentioned, the barbers were already doing a lot of this work, and so it doesn't make sense for us to duplicate efforts, right, and do it completely separately. So really partnering just for us makes a lot of sense with these other community leaders who are doing the work, so that we can really be more effective in the work we do.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. So our final question for you both, because we want people to go to your workshop, not just get all of this great knowledge and expertise and experience that you both have, but so my last question is really, what are you most excited about when it comes to attending the National Sexual Assault Conference? What are you looking forward to the most?
Networking and being away from my kids.
I definitely agree with the networking and just being able to, spread the knowledge that we have and the experience that we have, as well as learning from other people and their knowledge and experience that we'll be able to benefit from it as well.
Great. Well, I will definitely make a point to meet both of you at NSAC. Because, as you said, networking is such a big part of this, and meeting other folks across the country and even the world that are doing really creative work in their communities to bring about change. So I am very excited, but thank you both so much again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this PreventConnect podcast. PreventConnect is a project of the California Coalition Against Sexual Assault, with funding from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The views presented on PreventConnect are not necessarily the views of the United States government, the CDC, or CalCASA. To learn more about PreventConnect, visit www.preventconnect.org. For more information about CalCASA's mission, or to show your support, visit calcasa.org. That's CalCasa.org.